Let's jump in and dive a little bit deeper into this absurd idea that Trump floated on Truth Social a few hours back about hitting BRICS with a 100% tariff if they move towards a new currency. And listen, I want the US dollar to be dominant as well, but this idea is absurd and counterproductive, and Trump knows that. You wanna know how I know he knows that? Because he posted this on a Saturday morning, out of any day in the week. He posted this on a day where the market is off, and he knows that it may not have an insane effect by the time the markets open on Monday. Now, I want to run down this thread and talk to you guys about why this idea is dumb. And I also want to show you the MAGA reaction, because it's kind of splitting some of the Elon Musk crypto MAGA bros on Twitter. I'm going to say 90% of MAGA, 95% of MAGA will follow Trump wherever he goes, but we are seeing some of these people on Twitter that just blindly follow Elon Musk and his algorithm saying, hold on, wait a minute, I'm a little bit pro-Russia, I'm a little bit pro-China. We'll read some of the comments in 1 second, but let's start off with the post where Trump says that he will hit BRICS with a 100% tariff if they create a new currency for the group. So really quickly, he said, the idea that the BRICS countries are trying to move away from the dollar while we stand by and watch is over. We require commitment from these countries that they will neither create a new BRICS currency nor back any other currency to replace the mighty US dollar, or they will face 100% tariffs. This dude thinks that tariffs can fix everything. Listen, we're all on the same page. We all want the US dollar to remain dominant unless you want to see Russia and China begin to supersede us in the world order, but this is not the way to do it, and it's incredibly counterproductive for the reason that I explained in my last video. The reason that BRICS was created is because they want to move away from the US dollar being dominant, and they want to create their own currency so that US sanctions, US tariffs, etc. don't affect them. So Trump's plan is to isolate them even more by threatening more tariffs. It's just an insane way to do it. And even this Reddit thread reads, boom, eat that, libs. Solved another problem that doesn't exist. I find that hilarious. Someone said, paying $20,000 for an iPhone might be the new way to own the libs. Absolutely true. Someone said, it's funny how this stance is dividing the Musk MAGA cult on Twitter because many of them worship BRICS. That does take me to the next part of this video. Some of these MAGA crypto accounts that follow Elon Musk were tweeting about this, and the replies were people angry. So this Radar Hits account said, just in, Trump says BRICS countries will face 100% tariff if they create a new currency, and some of the replies from these cryptocurrency people are funny. Someone said, will it work though? They collectively have a larger economy. This dude definitely wants BRICS to win. Someone said, this is the exact wrong way to talk to those exact countries. I can guarantee you this person says they are America first, they are a true MAGA patriot, but then they want Trump to embolden Russia, China, Brazil, all of these different countries. Someone said, it won't work. BRICS is determined to unshackle itself from Western financial tyranny. I mean, this is what happens when you run as a change agent and try to court the vote of anti-establishment, pro-Russia, pro-China people, and then when you try to make a move against them, which is actually pretty surprising, those same people will be like, wait, hold up, we should be softer on China and Russia. Someone said, why the fuck would you even care about a BRICS currency? Most of the member countries lack a convertible currency and or a solid macro to even compete against the USD. Then again, Trump is probably trying to play top dog or just looking for any reason to start a trade war, and that is so true. If you watched my video from earlier, I said, this post is nothing but a tough guy proclamation to make it seem like he's placing the US interests first when it's probably the most reckless and counterproductive ways to go about it. I mean, someone down here even says, when did Trump first learn the concepts of tariffs and why is he so enamored with it? Of all of the tools the US has at its disposal, it's probably one of the weakest ones. And you can say that again, tariffs are not even one of the strongest tools that the US has when it comes to leverage or the economy. And someone said he learned it from the 80s. And this is very true. You can watch Trump going all the way back to the 80s. And the one thing that he's remained consistent on, it's not abortion or it's not social issues like gay marriage or trans rights. It's actually tariffs and that the US is being ripped off and that we're suckers. And still to this day, he says they can go find another sucker. But as Peter Schiff points out, President-elect Trump claims that the U.S. is a sucker for allowing BRICS nations to supply Americans with low-cost, high-quality consumer goods in exchange for paper dollars. But it's the BRICS nations that are the real suckers as they trade their real goods for our fiat currency. Someone responded, why not just back the dollar with a basket of Bitcoin and precious metals? Oh my lord, Twitter is an absolute shit show. But this proves that Trump, since the 80s, has been consistent on the one thing, tariffs. He's pulling his policy straight from the 80s, just listen.
Then, Trump's target was Japan and its trade practices.
The fact is that you don't have free trade. We think of it as free trade, but you right now don't have free trade. And I think a lot of people are tired of watching other countries ripping off the United States. This is a great country.
He believed from the beginning that there's really nothing worse than being laughed at.
He thinks that we're being laughed at. He thinks that we're suckers, but going back to this Peter Schiff tweet, he claims that the U.S. is a sucker for allowing the BRICS to supply us with low-cost, high-quality consumer goods. They are playing on our playing field, and right now Donald Trump is trying to push them away even further. All right, let's back up for a second. If you don't know what BRICS is, it's an acronym for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, a group of economies that are currently emerging, and they came together to challenge the existing global structure that the U.S. is at the head at, and try to essentially replace our currency, the U.S. dollar, with their own currency. They have 40% of the world's population and 25% of the world's GDP, but there are a few things. They're not even close to replacing the US dollar. It's not going to happen, but also what Donald Trump is trying to do only accelerates the move away from the dollar. Just think about it. The very formation of BRICS from the start was a reaction to the US dominance in the global financial system. Threatening these countries with extreme tariffs only gives them the incentive to double down and create an alternative where they can't be threatened, where Trump has no leverage. They can create a new alternative currency that Trump or whatever US president has no say on. So instead of stopping a BRICS currency, Trump's threats might actually accelerate the exact thing he's trying to stop, and that's what I want to differentiate. I'm not saying that I want the US dollar to be dethroned. Of course I don't want that. I want to put America first more than Trump does. I'm just saying that Donald Trump's way of doing it is so ineffective that it's going to lead to the acceleration of what we don't want. And then as a side effect, it alienates our trade partners. Tariffs are supposed to be a negotiating tool that you seldom use, but Donald Trump is whipping it around like it's a hammer, just trying to use it all of the time. And then someone replied to Peter Schiff, they give us low-cost, low-quality goods for our dollars. I doubt Peter Schiff has seen the junk they send here, and Peter Schiff said, so you think Americans are fools for voluntarily buying these products? If there were better alternatives, surely consumers would have figured that out by now, and he makes a good point about supply and demand. So after this person points out that Trump is obsessed with tariffs, someone says, this man has been talking about the tariffs since the 1980s. He has flip-flopped on all other values known to God and men, but has consistently supported tariffs. It's just so absurd. Someone said, it's a strongman act. Look at all those countries leeching us. I'll make them pay. And then we'll see what he does with Mexico and Canada. Probably nothing. Someone said, Trump's definition of winning is defeating whatever adversary he's decided he's in competition with, and money is a universal victory meter. When you talk about international trade, you're winning if you export more than you import, and you're beaten if you are a net importer. Tariffs are a tool that explicitly punishes the competition, and he likes looking like he's on the offense, no matter how dumb it may be in reality. I really like that line right there. That really does sum it up. Trump really likes seeming like he's on the offense, no matter how dumb the reality may be. Think about it. Most Americans don't know what tariffs are, do not know what BRICS are, or do not know what their goal is to replace the US dollar. So right now, Trump just looks like a strongman to them. Someone makes a good point that I've been making in this video. This is probably going to make them move further when Trump does his dumb tariffs. Someone says 100% tariffs against China, Brazil, and India at the same time would be completely suicidal, not to get into how it's the kind of stuff that would actually drive BRICS to have a common interest for once, and it's a bloc whose collective GDP and trade influence is significantly bigger than the US. Trump's promises are basically speedrunning pariah status. And I will leave you with that. Actually, this one says, this is just stupid. BRICS isn't a legitimate threat at all. I want Trump to be more hawkish on Russia, but this is the dumbest, most Twitter-brained way possible. Again, that is a great way to put it. We all want Trump to be more tough on China, more tough on Russia. We want America and our Western allies to be at the top of the global order, but this isn't the way to do it. This is the most Elon Musk dumb way to do it possible, and I'll leave you guys with that. Drop a like, subscribe. Love you guys. See you in the next one. Peace out.